The process of brewing beer sounds easy.
It is pretty much unchanged for 2,000 years.
Heat water and malted barley, add hops. Take the resulting liquid, add yeast, and let it sit for a week.
The whole term home brewing, connotes the strapping together of a bunch of equipment.
For anyone who's tried to brew at home, you know it's a bit more complicated than that.
You want to control your water temperature, calculate your sparge, scales the percent.
Whoa, this sounds complicated.
Acid rest, the starch chains, protein rest.
Seems like a lot can go wrong here. Are you getting all this?
Barley beta amylase, multi-step mashing, and alpha amylase.
Me neither. But one thing is very understandable.
Good ingredients makes better beer.
And that's the beauty of the PicoBrew Zymatic. It's a machine that takes the human errors and fallacies out of the equation, allowing the brewer to focus their attention on the ingredients and the recipe. It's the creation of brothers Jim and Bill Mitchell, one an innovator in food sciences, the other an accomplished software engineer.
We're leaving the art, we're taking out the drudgery. That's the key goal here.
It's amazingly simple. The home brewer simply programs the recipe into the Zymatic through a web interface, loads the grain and hops into this bin, called the step filter, measures the water out into the attached keg, hits the start button, and walks away. After 3.5 hours, the wort can be cooled and is ready for fermentation.
The whole concentration is on the recipe and the ingredients.
There are dozens of ways a brew can go wrong, and this machine eliminates those worries.
Professionals use professional tools. This is a professional tool.
It also allows homebrewers to do something nearly impossible before: create and share precise, consistent, and repeatable brews.
If you want to brew consistently, you have to add control systems.
And that begins with the PicoBrew website.
We will have a number of award-winning recipes across the major brewing styles, and if you just use one of those, you'll make good beer.
But for those looking to craft a unique brew of their own, it's a simple process of building the recipe one ingredient at a time.
Part of the value of the system is that we've been able to, besides that it's consistent, we've characterized it through a bunch of batches, so we know for a set of ingredients that come in, what comes out. We have profile curves of every single batch we've brewed, which is amazing.
The result of this testing is artificial intelligence software that tells you precisely what you're about to brew.
Well, the big dream is to introduce home brewing to everyone. I think the social aspect of this is really the best part about the product. With PicoBrew, it just kind of changes the equation. If you have a machine, the person in Florida has a machine, you can just replicate those beers.
That consistency and precision engineered into the PicoBrew allows homebrewers to share exact recipes and rate them on the PicoBrew website.
For me, being able to brew a recipe and then say, oh, I'd like it a little bit sweeter, a little bit roastier, a little bit spicier, a little bit hoppier, and tweak it, being able to do that from the recipe standpoint is awesome, and say, like, this is my beer, it's exactly how I want it, and this is what I like in a beer.
And that brings us back to the whole idea of better beer. We tasted over a dozen different beers, all brewed on the PicoBrew, and each one of them tasted like it could have come from any of the world's top microbreweries. No off flavors, no homebrewy taste. Just great beer, consistently great beer.
The more people play around with the ingredients and the temperatures and all that, the more excellent beers there's going to be out there.